Trump has stated 3 contradicting goals he wants to accomplish with his tariffs. The problem is, each of these goals require a different use of tariffs. The first one is to raise revenue and lower deficits. Addressing the federal debt requires raising taxes. But this has limits. It needs to be predictable and prove a stable source of revenue. A tariff that is too high will lower imports too much. A recent 2022 paper asks how much a trade tax can replace income tax revenue across the world. They find that the United States can replace about 8% of the income tax with tariff revenues. However, once retaliatory tariffs are taken into account, that number falls to just 3%. The paper also finds that such a scenario would shrink the economy also by 3.5%. Number 2 is a protectionist tariff. It wants to lower the imports. It wants to protect competition from abroad in order to protect firms at home. From this perspective, the higher the tariff, the better. One example is when Biden imposed a 100% tariff on Chinese electric vehicles. He was trying to protect Ford and GM. Little tariffs would offer little protection. Now, a third reason is a tariff as a negotiation tool. In game theory, sometimes we find it's an optimal strategy to send mixed signals and be unpredictable. Trump threatens a large tariff, but he doesn't really mean it, but he still has to be believable enough to get the desired concession. For example, Trump himself came out to the Financial Times saying it's not a negotiation tool, it's pure economic, and then literally a day or two later back away from that position. Of course, critics of that view would point out that Canada didn't really concede anything, that they had already made these border funding announcements back in December, or that Canada would have conceded to a new policy anyway. All we had to do was ask politely. So in summary, despite the rhetoric, tariff policy cannot accomplish all 3 goals. Revenue needs a modest, predictable tariff. Protectionism needs large tariffs. And negotiation needs exit plans. And hey, if you want more chatter about it, I appeared on Gio Hussar's channel. Go to his YouTube. We had a nice 90-minute discussion of tariffs on the economy.